So you're tuning in live for National Fuck the U.S. Marshals Day. This is We the People News. We're live outside the John M. Shaw United States Courthouse, where these tyrants with the U.S. Marshals Service think that it's okay to criminalize journalism and the First Amendment. Had BOLOs put out. You ought to see, like, those that haven't seen the evidence, haven't seen the FOIA request. I knew that there was funny business going on. Y'all want me to come in? Hey, they're trying to wave me in the courthouse. So he just waved me in. Should I accept the invitation? I think I should accept the invitation. Hello. After you. Well, look who it is. Okay, you called me in here. You son of a bitch, I was outside on the fucking sidewalk. You told me to come in here, motherfucker. I'm going outside. You called me in here, motherfucker. You baited me in here, you piece of shit. Fucking pussy. You fucking pussy. Fuck your mom. He literally waved me in here. He told me to come inside. Was grinning and then told me he was going to throw me in handcuffs as soon as I walked in the doors. A public building. A public building. I'm holding my ground. I'm holding the line. Got to hold the line. And you're well within your rights. You cannot get pushed away. I mean, you give them an inch and they take a mile. Got to hold the line, folks. Got to hold the line. Huh? I'm on public fucking property. Let's go. Let's go. No, you're not. I'm getting it. You ain't gonna touch my camera. You ain't touching my camera. You ain't touching my camera. I'm getting my camera.
You grab the camera and you move it right now. If you don't, I am seizing this camera.
That's right.
That is absolutely right.
So what? So this door.
You've got 1 second.
This door is locked.
You've got 1 second.
This door is locked.
This is an entryway. Put it on the other side of the barricade.
I'm fine right here.
2,
I'm
1.
really? Oh! Ah! 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 Ah!
Congratulations. You have the right to remain silent. Say you can't believe you get the law. You have the right to solve an attorney. You have attorney for their question.
I want an attorney. I want an attorney.
In 1971, the court drew a line in Cohen versus California. Paul Cohen's "fuck the draft jacket" wasn't polite, but it was speech. Justice Harlan's reminder, one man's vulgarity is another's lyric, wasn't just clever phrasing. It was constitutional bedrock. The First Amendment protects the raw and the uncomfortable, because power doesn't get to dictate tone. 17 years later, NWA pushed that line further. Fuck the Police was banned from radio, condemned by politicians, and earned the group a warning letter from the FBI. But it survived. Not because gatekeepers approved, but because courts had already established in cases like Cohen that profanity and anger are protected when they are political speech. The music didn't just survive. It became an anthem against police abuse, echoing what the court had acknowledged years before. Offensiveness is not a crime. Now in 2025, I found myself living that same fight in flesh and bone. My camera was my lyric. My audit, my anthem. Yet the U.S. Marshals tried to crush it with fists instead of bans. They treated journalism like contraband, seizing equipment as if recording itself were illegal. They dragged me into cells, beat me, mocked me, and tried to rewrite the law with violence. What they could not silence with statutes, they tried to silence with shackles. The irony is bitter. The FBI once threatened NWA for words. Today, federal agents brutalize citizens for cameras. Tools of transparency. Both reveal the same truth. When speech exposes authority, authority will try to call it dangerous. Through FOIA, I had already uncovered evidence of U.S. Marshals Service bulletins and BOLOs targeting me, documents redacted so heavily you could barely read them, but enough to show they were treating journalism and First Amendment auditing as crimes. Those documents foreshadowed what came next. And now, because of what has happened, those pages must be unredacted. The conspiracy is no longer theoretical. It is lived proof. On August 25th, 2025, outside the federal courthouse in Lafayette, Louisiana, Marshal Hayden Newsom ordered me to move my camera away from a locked courthouse door. He threatened to seize it if I didn't comply. I complied. I backed up with my tripod and 4K camera in hand. That's when he attacked. He slammed me to the ground. My brand new gimbal was destroyed. My tripod shattered into pieces against me and underneath me. My 4K camera was wrecked. He violently accosted me as if press equipment was contraband. They dragged me into a holding cell. That's where Newsom drove his knuckles into my chest while I struggled to breathe. My heart was pounding, 140 to 160 beats a minute. When I knocked his arm away to stop the pain, he threatened me again and again. Assault on a federal officer. They laughed while I gasped for air. They delayed calling 911 for nearly an hour. When the paramedics finally arrived, they mocked me, saying I was just trying to delay jail. At the hospital, the indifference continued. Dismissive, condescending, unwilling to acknowledge the injuries inflicted by federal hands. When I was discharged late at night, Marshal Newsom shackled me and handed me off to Deputy Olivet of St. Martin Parish Jail. I asked before he even pulled out of the lot, "What am I being booked on?" Deputy Olivet admitted there was no charge, just a hold for the U.S. Marshals. I told him directly, transporting me without charge is kidnapping under 18 U.S. Code 1202. He claimed he was following orders. I reminded him of Nuremberg, that just following orders is never a defense. He drove me anyway. At St. Martin Parish Jail, the abuse escalated. Deputy Olivet and a female booking officer nearly broke my wrist, hoisting me by handcuffs ratcheted down so tight I could feel my bones grinding. It was torture, plain and simple. They threw me into a tiny freezing cell with only a torn blanket. I had no food the entire day. I lay on concrete in pain from my chest, my wrist, my ribs, mocked by guards who treated my suffering as entertainment. And all the while, the marshals laughed about what they had done. Laughing at destroyed equipment. Laughing at a broken body. Laughing at constitutional rights discarded like trash. This is not law enforcement. This is not justice. This is a conspiracy. One already foreshadowed in the FOIA records. One that is now spilled into the open through violent arrest, torture, medical neglect, and unlawful detention. In 1971, the Supreme Court said the government cannot criminalize vulgar speech. In 2025, the U.S. Marshals Service tried to erase that ruling with fists, with broken equipment, with shackles and cold cells. But here's the truth. They failed. I'm still here. I'm still speaking. And I will not stop. Because history will not absolve those who hide behind just following orders. It will remember those who stood. This is the warning. This is the record. And this is not the end.